Yo, so that last video, there was 100 cops synchronized. So the cop at the start of the video, he was turning when I walked up to the intersection, and then he like parks when I get across the street or whatever he did, and then they were just like standing there talking to somebody, these two cops, and then when I come back outside of the grocery store, the cop car is taking off as I'm walking out, and then he drives by me at the crosswalk, and then the other cop car drives off synced, and then the other cops, there's 3 cops pulling up, meeting me at the intersection, or like when I get across the street, there's like a cop at the other intersection pulling up right when I get across the street, and then I just stand there and record him until he drives up to the intersection I'm at, and then there's another cop driving by down the street, and then there's another cop meeting the other one at the intersection next to me at the same time. All 3 of them at the same time as each other. And then another cop drove by right at the bank corner right after that. And then there was like 100 other cops synced on the video. And then there was like the UPS guy. Well, I kept walking up and down Norfolk Avenue, but he kept meeting me on other streets too, though. Like the same UPS guy kept syncing on me. Like most of the times it was on Norfolk Avenue, so like, but he met me on the other street too, and I think he met me on like a couple other streets. But he kept meeting me synced though. Either way, it was synced every time. And like he like goes in the door of the building synced, and then he comes back out synced, and he gets in and out of the truck synced and shit. And then there's a bunch of like the UPS or like a mail van synced with a FedEx van, and then I forget, it was like the FedEx and the UPS and the mail trucks were like all syncing with each other like a bunch of times on that video. And like they were all synced every time I saw them, like even if they weren't synced with each other, you know what I mean? Like if I just saw a mail truck, he was synced every time. And then I kept seeing like mail trucks and FedExes and UPSs syncing with each other. And then there's a couple of videos where I saw, like in the past, where I saw 2 FedExes at the same time as each other. And then this morning I was walking, and this guy, he's like walking up, he's like getting out, and he like pulled up synced into his driveway in front of me, and then he was getting out of his car, like as I'm walking by his house, he's like walking up on the porch next to me, and there's a dog inside of his house barking, and he's like shh, 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 like as he's walking up next to me. And then the train was synced on that last video too. The train horn was going off synced a bunch of times, and then the train drove out next to me synced to the side of me. And then he drove by me at the corner of a building, and then he drove out at the intersection synced looking. And then he drove out when I got across the street synced looking. He looked like a sync train to me. Very synced. Just like every train ever in history. But, yeah, it was crazy how there's just all those cops, though. I just made a YouTube video out of it. Out of that part of the video where there's all the swarm of cops. Just, like, all within, like, a block of each other. Like they're all like within one block, basically, like a bunch of cops all synced up. And then another cop drove by me like at the 411 corner too, like when I came out of the grocery store. Like with all those other cops. And then there's a bunch of other cops throughout the whole video. there's been some train horns today. Or there was a train horn and a siren at the same time. Or wait, I think that was yesterday. It might have happened today too again, I don't know. But there's definitely a train horn earlier. My fridge just turned off as a telelift drove by outside right now. I think there's been a few sirens today. I'm not sure. Or like one, maybe. I don't remember. Sometimes the days just like melt into each other and I just like forget. Because like, there's been so many sirens the last few days too. It's just like, I lost track. I see this garbage truck meeting a car at the intersection. And I heard this engine sound right before that. It was probably a stalker. And I see a bunch of other stalker cars. And I've been seeing them the entire time talking on this video. And it is synced. And I'm not schizo, and it is synced. What else? I saw a few cops this morning too. Like, I didn't record it all when I went walking this morning, but I think I just saw a few cops like when I left, and I didn't see any like on the way back or like after that. I didn't see any, I think, that I can remember. But like when I walked up to this one intersection, there was 2 cops pulling up, meeting me at it. So like but like I said at the start of that video, they were just like standing there, like talking to somebody on the sidewalk. And like when I walk by him, the one cop just like takes like 2 steps or whatever. He's just like standing still, you know, and then he just like so I think that was synchronized. They might have been pointing synchronized or something when I walked by. I don't know. But then when I came out, they were back in their cop cars, and then one was backing up right after I walk out, and then he drove by me at the crosswalk. So like every time I see the cops, they're just doing theatrical shit. Like I don't think I ever see them doing real shit. They're just doing theatrical shit. They're just pulling over another stalker. They're not pulling over somebody for real. They're just doing theatrical things. I think probably every time that I see the cops, at least most of the time, they're not doing anything real. And they're doing theatrical shows with my tax dollars. My fridge or something or the heater on the wall or something clicked when this truck turned into the parking lot and he synced with other cars. We did that. And I think the bird flew over synced when he did that. And there's a bunch of synced birds on the last video. They're flying over cars as they drive by me and shit. And then the video last night, I think there's a synced cat. This cat walked out of a house next to me and was just like following alongside of me. And then I think he sat down when I walked by the corner of the other house, but I turned forward and then I looked back again right after that and he sat down. So I think he sat down and synced. He came off the porch right next to me. And then I saw this guy walking his dog yesterday when I was at work, and I was in the truck and I was turning at this intersection, and like he's just standing there with his dog, and then his dog starts walking right as I drive by, right as I'm right next to him. And he walked up sync before that. So I don't think I got anything else to report. that I can think of right now. So I don't know if the siren's about to go off or whatever. My water heater's turning on right now. And oh wait, is it? I heard it click or something. So I don't know if a siren's about to go off or another train horn or both, or a plane's gonna fly over or something crazy like that. But I would want to stay live and record the sounds or whatever. But I think I'm gonna get off here though. I see 2 people walking across the parking lot and a bunch of cars that are synced with them. Like 2 separate people at different ends of the parking lot. Let's see what this one walker does. Is he gonna walk away synced? He's syncing with the other walker guy. As he walks behind the corner of the building, the other walker guy is walking in front of the corner of the building. Sync.